Elite money, elite coach, elite program. That's the question. We got Tim Aiden on the line from Black Shoe Diaries to talk Penn State football. Spring practice is just a couple of weeks away. Tim, we appreciate you stopping by as always.
Sure thing, Mark. This is actually a distraction from the time I usually spend these days checking Joe Lenardi and Jerry Palm's bracketology to see where Penn State's basketball team is being seeded for March Madness. So good to shift focus a little bit towards football.
It's our goal to hit as many positional previews as we possibly can across the nation. Ryan Day just received a truckload of money from Ohio State. James Franklin, the same at Penn State, as the top programs in the country trying to lock down their guys for quite some time and let them know, hey, we believe in you and we want you to stay right here. So for James Franklin, that's a 6-year deal. Your thoughts about the money in relation to the job that he's done?
So as you said, 6-year deal. This was actually finalized by the Board of Trustees back in, not finalized, but it was agreed upon by the Board of Trustees back in December. And just last week, the details were revealed. So like I said, 6-year contract, runs through 2025. He's guaranteed at least $38.2 million over that course of time. So this coming year, he's going to earn $5.4 million in total. And then a retention bonus of $300,000 on top of that, assuming he's still the coach going into 2021. And it's going to top out at $6.5 million in the 2025 season. So, needless to say, just based on the body of work that's happened in the past 4 years, it's well deserved for James Franklin. And to me, it shows shows that him and Penn State are committed to this thing for the long haul. And they gave him, sound like they gave him what he was requesting as well in terms of continuous upgrades to the facilities, bigger pool, bigger salary pool for his assistants, things like that, things that you need to try and keep the Ohio States, the Clemsons, the Alabamas, pack within your sight. Just to use I mentioned before, I'm a runner. I do marathons, half marathons. It's like that lead pack's Ohio State. Well, I said the lead pack's like Clemson, Bama, Ohio State, maybe LSU, and then Penn State's maybe like 10, 15 seconds behind in the chase pack, trying to catch up to them. So, yeah, this is what this kind of a contract will help them, maintain and have a shot at trying to catch up to that lead pack.
Yeah, I think it's a fascinating situation that we can observe over the next few years based on what's been accomplished over the last few years. The history of the program is obviously elite. There was the scandal at the beginning of the decade. Bill O'Brien did just a remarkable job. I just think that was just an undervalued job that he did, not to see that thing
Absolutely.
Just go into complete the abyss for 5 or 6 years and be competitive. James Franklin, if people forget, mid-2016 is sitting on a 3-2 record, a blowout at Michigan, a loss to rival Pitt, coming off 7-6, 7-6. So not sitting in the best place. They go on the incredible run, beat Ohio State, win the Big Ten championship, go to the Rose Bowl, put up 49 points, and then he's off and running to basically, I know they had the 9-4 season 2 years ago, but basically top 10 finishes and 11-2 records 3 of the 4 years after that, or in that 4-year time frame. So yes, he's right there in regards to, and then the other fascinating aspect would be if you're going to look at a second tier in college football behind the elites that you just mentioned, you're looking at Penn State. Michigan is in the same division, maybe Notre Dame, Florida, a few other teams across the country, but they're right there with Michigan, pretty much churning out the same type seasons, but that close. And then Michigan hasn't played Ohio State the way Penn State has. There could be an argument there that they've actually outplayed them 2 of the last 3 years.
Well, yeah, in that sense, I mean, they're the biggest threat to Ohio State right now. It doesn't necessarily seem to be Michigan. It's more so Penn State.
Absolutely.
Not that I want to rehash these, but 2017, 2018, Penn State seemed to have them dead to rights at moments in those games, and of course they failed to close them out. But I haven't seen the last time Michigan did that was 2016, and I'm not going to rehash whether the spot was good or not, but The previous few meetings since then haven't, been quite as, competitive against Ohio State when compared to how Penn State's played against them. And even last year, 2019, I know they got down early, 21-0, but they fought back. They forced a few fumbles, and they had a chance. It was like late third quarter. They had a chance to tie the ball game. Unfortunately, they kicked a field goal, but they had a chance. I mean, they were this close to completely erasing a 21-point deficit in Columbus. So, Penn State's probably the biggest threat right now to the Buckeyes. But like I said, Michigan's still, like I said, going back to my pack analogy, I'd say Michigan is in that same pack with Penn State, along with, Florida and, what other schools you were mentioning. So that's where the contract extension comes into play. Gotta maintain that and hopefully build upon it.